Hey guys, my name is Colin McLeod, and within this video I just wanted to share with you guys some fact-based truths that will hopefully give you an edge in the life you live. And I wanted to share with you a tidbit that I read in a book by Grant Cardone years ago. And he talked about false data. And when I learned about this, it really changed the way I felt about a lot of things in my life. So I figured on my drive home today I'd share it with you. So, Grant Cardone's false data. So I think it was either Sell or Be Sold or The 10X Rule. Both are great books and you should definitely buy them. Thanks, Grant. But Grant Cardone refers to false data as information being passed on as the truth, but is simply not true. It may lack experience or first-hand knowledge, right? So some examples of this would be, I live here in Japan, right? So, and before I came to Japan, I came there originally, maybe 15 years ago, I guess. But when I first came here, I was talking to all these people, and everyone was telling me that Japan is so expensive. You're gonna need a really good job, you know. The houses there are so small. All of this, and they had never been to Japan before. But like I talked about in previous videos, beliefs are created and made stronger when we hear, see things. So, especially when they're from a reliable source. So, your best friend's telling you, Japan's really expensive. Your mother's telling you Japan's really expensive. So, false data is most dangerous when it comes from people who you trust or have a strong relationship with. So, I moved to Japan a couple months later, and my belief would be I'm going to need a lot of money, right? And I was surprised to see that Japan is dirt cheap. Okay, please come check it out. You'll love it here. I'm originally from Vancouver, Canada, and any of you Vancouverites know Vancouver is expensive. So, if for example, you're going to rent a house in Vancouver, okay? It's going to cost you a lot of money. Okay, you're going to rent a house. It's going to cost you probably $2, $3, $4 grand. You're going to buy a house. It's going to cost you a couple $1,000,000 bucks. You get a shitty apartment. It's probably going to cost you $1,200 a month, right? Now, here in Japan, you can get a pretty nice 2-bedroom rancher for about $500 a month with parking, everything. Okay, so Japan's housing is not expensive. You go to a restaurant here, Japan has no tips. Japan's food and drinks are super cheap. I can go and get breakfast, lunch, or dinner all for under $10. Okay? Maybe if I go to a nice restaurant with my family, maybe I'll spend $100, $150, right? So Japan is dirt cheap in many aspects. So that's one example of false data. So we hear all of this information from all of these different people every day, okay? For example, here in Japan, people their whole life hear English is difficult, English is difficult, English is difficult. So they start to believe something that's simply not true. English is a skill, okay? Just like any other skill. The only thing that a skill needs to increase or be created is time and action. Now, when we're investing time and action into obtaining a new skill, we want to make sure that we're taking the right actions or learning in a proper way. So here in Japan, kids study English for years, right? From elementary school to high school, and they can't speak English. Well, they won't speak English, right? Or they can't speak English very well. Now, the reason why is their method of study is pathetic. So they're focusing on learning words that you'll almost never use. So if you've ever been to English language school, or you've seen people study English, kids study English, they study English that you will never use, or if you actually used, you'd look retarded. Now, example of this is they learn words like apple, cat, dog. Now, my first language is English, and I rarely use the word dog. They learn things like, it's a pen, okay? It's a table. Now, if someone said to you, it's a table, you say, oh, of course. Are you okay? And so, false data is extremely dangerous because it will start to or strengthen beliefs. So what I'd like you to start doing is be careful what you believe from people. If someone has no experience, no knowledge, then anything that they're saying is most likely not true or not fully true. Okay? So be careful and start to, get information from reliable sources. Get information from people who have experience or knowledge on that topic. So once again, my name is Colin McLeod. I'd like to thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Be sure to share it with your friends, and I wish you the best of luck in the days to come, and I'll see you in the next video.